Hey, look, Mom, no hands. So let me introduce you to my new mistress. That's right, my Racatac rolling creeper. Now, I have wanted to get one of these for a very long time. I did my research. Yes, I bought this myself. No, the manufacturer did not reach out to me and send me one for free. I researched it myself. I found it myself because many of you have asked, and some of you have even suggested that, oh, if a manufacturer sends me a free product, then I'm just going to wet all over myself all in the name of getting free product. It's like, wow, talk about naive. It's like, oh yeah, let me sell my soul so I can get free product and do detailing because product costs are such a huge concern for me. If I get it for free, if the manufacturer sends it to me, I'm going to tell you. But as I tell them, it's always going to be an honest review. So if you're up for the challenge, by all means, send me your product and I'll test it. I found this myself. Why? Because I'm just getting that old and my knees are starting to get out. In fact, I have a torn meniscus in this knee, and what I really was after is trying to find a creeper, and they come in endless configurations, trust me. From just upright round ones with a little tray underneath it and you just basically sit like this, to the kind that kind of will actually recline as you're sitting down. But the problem is finding that happy balance between being high enough and not being too high versus being low. My main goal for finding this creeper was to do wheels and tires specifically. Now, if you are an experienced detailer, you will know that wheels and tires represent not only some of the dirtiest work that you will do in the detailing process, but it is a huge strain on the back and the knees. Because what do? They're very time consuming, especially if you're going to detail out the barrels themselves. Never mind the wheel well lips and so on. So what I used to do was this, is I would sit here and just crouch down and do the wheels and tires. Now this is a tremendous strain on my knees and my lower back, go down the list. And having trained so many guys, especially young guys, this is what they would do. They would grab the wheel and tire cleaner and they would sit their butt on the ground and they would go like this and they would start cleaning the wheels and tires. And I'd be over there looking, thinking, really? Okay, if you got to sit down on your ass to start doing a project, that's an indicator to me as a boss. It's like, hey, this is not an all-day project. I want you up on your feet, getting down to business, cutting to the chase, and move on to the next wheel and tire. Yes, they can be time-consuming, but I don't want a guy thinking that this is worthy of sitting on your ass because it's going to take that long. And this is where training and having experienced training so many guys, that alone is a huge indicator. So me as boss man, I know I want to cut to the chase. I didn't bother with a creeper or a stool or anything like that. I just wanted to get the job done, move on to the next wheel. But as I've gotten older, I've realized that the more comfortable I can be, not only will I perform my job better, because detailing in and of itself is very physical. It's very labor intensive. Why make it more difficult? And this is where you might be sitting there thinking, wow, Darren, it only took you, 30 years to figure that out? Well, at a level, yes. That's where I'm kind of challenged, you could say, because I'm so focused on getting in, getting the job done, and being efficient. So to me, having an extra tool like this to deal with, at a level represented, and admittedly at a superficial level, represented one more thing I was going to have to deal with. At a level, it's also me oversimplifying the moment. It's kind of like people that ask, well, Darren, how come you don't carry a canopy around with you and use that for shade? Well, same discussion. Yes, it would be nice to have one, and it would make my life easier But the trade-offs, still to this day, I do not carry one with me because they are even bigger and bulkier and heavier, and to try to set them up and then to maneuver the car in and out of it, then you've got to maneuver it just right to get the doors open without hitting the post, and then based on the angle of the sun, if you're working in the early morning or the late afternoon, the sun's coming down at a sharp angle, so the car's not going to be directly under it. So there's just too many other variables that to me don't make it worth it. But this creeper, let me tell you, it is a godsend, and it has saved my knees, it saved my back, and I cannot believe how useful it is. And there's many ways that you can use this thing. So what's cool is it's got these knee pads right here, because I've asked guys, say like, hey Darren, do you ever wear knee pads? It's like, well, okay, I got to draw the line somewhere. So we can look silly enough as detailers out here working on a car. I don't need to strap some knee pads on my knees independently and look that much sillier, all right? Darren's already going to look silly enough doing certain things. I'm not a fan of knee pads. Never mind the endless proverbial jokes that will follow with wearing some knee pads. So that's just never been an option for me. To me, I was willing to do something else, whether it was a little stool or whatever. Hence, once again, back to the rolling creeper, the Racatac. And by the way, you can find this on my website. Under the description box of this video, there will be a link, and you can help support the efforts of my website, and you can order one for yourself through Amazon. And I will tell you right now, it is not a cheap piece of equipment. I think I paid, $170-ish for it. But I'm telling you, it is well made. Super light. I'm going to guess maybe 8 pounds. So I can literally pick this up with a breeze and an ease and carry it from wheel to wheel in the event that I'm not working on a flat surface. Now this has high quality rollers on it that can roll over asphalt that's rather rough and bumpy. And of course, smooth asphalt is ideal. Gravel, it's not going to be an option. It's not going to roll in gravel as far as true gravel. Dirt, it will roll in. But it's so light and sturdy and well built. This is aluminum, and I think it's rated to support like a 350-pound man. I'm about 175 fully wet. It's well within its limits. So that's my warning, is it's not cheap, but like everything else in life, you get what you pay for. To me, it is one of the best investments I have made personally. Now, if you're a young guy and you're on a tight budget, it's not going to be an option for you. I get it. But if you do have the budget, it really has made me more efficient. Because what's cool about this versus other creepers is the different types of positions that you can assume, as well as it with the ability to roll around. It has a traditional bike seat on it. Now I could have opted for the 3-inch ball hitch, and then you could apply some little Vaseline and pop your butt onto it. You know, if you're into that kind of thing, which I'm not, because you know my back end says exit only. Actually, I take that back. It used to say exit only until I reached a certain age of life and a certain visit to Dr. Feelgood, who then informed me that, hey Darren, despite the exit only sign on your ass, guess what? I've got to go probing, because as men, there's certain things that you need to stay on top of so you don't have a problem develop. And that's where you get to assume the position, and Dr. Feelgood gets to go probing with hopefully only 2 fingers and not the whole fist. But with that said, if you want to make this even more convenient, you can opt for the 2-inch ball hitch, plop your ass down on it, so when you get up, it follows you. Not my deal. I'm going to go with the bike seat. Rather comfortable, and many positions you can assume. Also, this seat is adjustable. It's got 3 different settings for it. You can also adjust the angle or the pitch of this, or the rake, call it what you want, guys, of the seat itself. I've got it on the lowest adjustment, I'm just under 5'11", and I've got average proportions. So whatever physical constraints that you're working with your body, you'll figure it out. So what's cool is right here in the traditional setting, I've got my knees and my ass supporting my weight. So my weight is distributed rather nicely. And then I can control the flow with my feet. Also, one lift off with my leg, and now I've got even better control. Check this out. Kind of like I'm surfing on the sidewalk. Also, I can go up on my knees, and it's fully safe because the wheels are just forward of the point where my knees contact. So I can do this and lift my feet up if I wanted to, and I'm strictly just showing you for the balance of it, to show you that how safe it is, how sturdy. So you can control it with your hands, you can control it with your back feet. There's endless scenarios like this. I mean, it's really, whew, it's like a surfboard. Woo! I'm detail surfing. All right, I digress. It's also got this cool little tray. It snaps on, it's held in with Velcro. Not that I'm removing it often, and I must say it's very convenient because, for example, I'm doing my wheels and tires. I know you're checking out my new, recently configured wheel and tire bucket. I took a Chemical Guys bucket, and this is a video for another time, completely customized it for wheels and tires only. So every part of my world, detailing world, is kind of compartmentalized for efficiency. And once again, efficiency equals profitability. Okay, that's what it's all about. And despite having been in the business as long as I have, I still come up with new ways to figure out how to be more and more efficient so that I can be more and more, wait for it, profitable. I run a healthy, lean and mean business so that I can be as profitable as possible. That is my goal. I want to do something I love and be as profitable as possible. And that's the big irony. And you watch these videos of these, 50-hour paint correction jobs. I promise you, probably less than 1/2% of those people doing those jobs are actually turning a decent profit. That's the big irony and the big lie that no one's going to tell you about. So me, I want to run a healthy business, and healthy to me is being as profitable as possible. So instead of making 20 bucks an hour or 30 or 50, how about making 80 or 100 or 120? And that doesn't mean you have to have this huge, expansive career and skill set to do it. You just have to have the right techniques, the right products, and then here's the other caveat: know how to talk to the customer and communicate a concept that makes sense to them in their world. When you have that ability to bridge that gap, and that's why I'm such a huge fan of metaphors, because you can take something that may not be easily understood, and almost instantly with the right metaphor, it's like bing, the light bulb goes off and someone instantly understands what you're trying to get across. It's the same with detailing or any business in general, is that if you can figure out a way to bridge that gap and make the concept or the idea make sense in their world and show them the value of it, then that's where you can really look like a professional, and you have a way of becoming way more profitable than you ever thought possible. And that's what I've spent the last 5 to 7 years doing, is digging in, going through some training of my own, and really configuring it, working on my communication skills, and it's amazing the profit margin that I can wrench out of some of these jobs that are so anticlimactic. But you know what? The stress level is almost non-existent. Compare that to the stress level of doing, I don't know what, a 30, 50-hour paint correction and coating job on some $1 million exotic. It's like, talk about stress. So that's one of the big ironies. So back to the Racatac, and once again, help support the efforts of this website. If you're gonna buy one, do it through my link on Amazon. It helps me out, which then helps me to produce more of these videos. And by the way, in case you haven't figured it out, if you like what you're seeing, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, or even better, make a comment. I don't care what comment it is. If you want to give me a hard time, go for it. Give me a hard time. I respond as much as I possibly can, but I am limited. The Racatac, it's got these padded knee pads. These are literally like the kind of knee pads that you would strap on and you'd look all silly and goofy with. So they're padded, they're comfortable. You've got this tray. So when I'm doing my wheels and tires, I can set things here. Mainly, as I said, it was all in the attempt to be able to do a wheel and tire without sitting like this for roughly, let's say, 3 to 5 minutes based on how dirty the wheel is, because it puts a tremendous amount of strain on your knees and my joints, and they are feeling it, trust me. Then when I tore my meniscus in this knee, which I verified through an MRI, it's like, okay, Darren, you got to do something. You're not getting younger. This is my answer. So now I sit here like this, and you'll notice it's what I call the perfect height. It's got a tray like those traditional round, because trust me, you can find something much cheaper. I guarantee it's likely not going to be built to this level of quality. I mean, this thing is seriously sturdy. So you're either going to have a compromise where it's going to be too low to the ground, and you're going to be forced to either sit like this on a creeper, and that's going to be hard on the lower back because you're going to essentially having to be leaning forward like this to get the wheels. And I don't know about you guys, but that's going to really put a strain on my lower back. Or you're going to have one that's too high, and then you're down leaning again like this. So this, kind of like Goldilocks, is just right. Not too tall, not too short, but just right. And if it's not, there's some adjustments that you can make to it. Now that I have your attention, hopefully, let's check out some of the other uses that I use my Racatac for that I have found oh so convenient. I mean, I cannot stress enough. And once again, I'm old, I get it. Okay, I'm worn out. I'm tore up from the floor up. You younger guys, I'm telling you, today's problems are going to be tomorrow's wisdom. Well, guess what? You've got this older guy that's trying to apply wisdom to your life. So take some note. Your body has a shelf life, and you never know what that is. Largely, it's going to depend on your genetic code, that you only have the ability to work within certain limitations of that genetic code. Obviously, how you treat your body, what you put into it, what you do to it, all those things are going to be a factor, but every body has a shelf life, as in every body. So for example, when I'm doing the front end of a car, bug removal, let's say, or applying the wax, maybe some touch-up paint, maybe I'm refinishing the headlamps, whatever. So think about a car. Literally half of a traditional car is about 3 feet and lower. This whole area all the way around the car, the wheels and tires, the rocker panels, the wheel well lips, headlight restoration, the front grille, maybe using some chrome polish on a chrome bumper, a mesh. I mean, just go down the list. So that's where I've also used the Racatac. But wait, folks, there's more. Any of you that have any experience detailing cars can attest to this. And this is the rule. Once again, there's the rule and there's the exceptions to the rule. See, I don't know if the camera's picking this up, but I'm actually doing a pop-a-wheelie on my Racatac. But I've got it supported by my back foot. Once again, the versatility of this tool is amazing. and very expansive. With the compartment here, I notice, especially on maintenance detailing, because a lot of my customers are the only one that drives their car. So I'm spending a majority of my time when it comes to detailing the interior in this compartment known as the driver's compartment. The Racatac is ideal for that. Now I can sit here and detail out the threshold plate. I can get in here, detail out the brake pedal, the accelerator pedal, the dead pedal, the e-brake if there's one here. I can lift up the floor mat whether I'm taking it in or out. There's going to be the bulk of the debris right here, so I'm going to be spending some time vacuuming. And now I get to do it on the comfort of my ass and my knees and my weight evenly distributed. I can do the door panels. I mean, how much easier is this? Like, bam, right here in front of my face. Instead of the old way, which was either bending over and having a perspective that's kind of unidimensional, which is only one direction. Sure, when I'm done, I'm going to be doing this, or I'm going to be cleaning it up and down, up and down. But now with this, I can either be comfortable, like I said, 3 points, the 2 knees, my ass. I can go up like this. Whatever works for you, you'll figure it out. I can go up like this, up and down if I need to. I love it. I hope you're sensing the excitement in my voice, the animation in my face. I hope it's coming through, folks. I love this tool, and I'm not getting paid for it. The only way I'm going to get paid for it is if you buy it through my link on Amazon. Just make sure you click it on the Show More box. It will take you to my website, and you can read the full description if you want after you've watched this video, or you can simply go there and order it, because I made such a compelling argument, you thinking to yourself, dude, man, I've got to get me one of those tools or one of those toys because that looks cool. Do I look cooler? Well, maybe cooler. How about this? I look a little less dorky than putting just knee pads on and getting on my hands and knees to do this stuff. But if that's your deal, then I'm not going to try to talk you out of it. So there's endless things that I have found that I can use this Racatac for, and I'm absolutely in love with it. So check it out. Don't forget to subscribe to the website. Yes, that means mouse over that subscribe button right now, or over to the thumbs up button and like it, or make a comment, whatever.